From the upcoming games that we have coming up, out of these selections that we have, we want to choose like which one are you most hyped about, which one are you least hyped about, and which one is your sleeper pick, the one that you're like, hey, this game actually might be something you might need to keep your eyes on it. Like, I'm not sure, but I'm anticipating that it looks like it's turning out that it's going to be pretty good. So we got King of Fighters 15, Virtual Fighter Esports, Multi Blood Type Lumina, Gear to Gear Strive, and Project AO. Out of these, which one are you most hyped about? Which one are you least hyped about? And which one is like your sleeper pick, the one that you're keeping your eye on to make sure that you think is going to be pretty dope. So starting with you, Mr. Gaming Lift, let the people know the truth.
So I definitely know. I already know which one I'm least hype about.
There
But
we go.
King of Fighters 15, Virtua Fighter Esports, Melty Blood, Guilty Gear, and Project L. So the one I'm most hyped about, I would have to say out of this list would definitely be I'm gonna say Guilty Gear, just because of the fact that it's on the horizon. The game was sorry, super fun. I played it, I enjoyed it. Just the style of the game and look of the game, it's super dope. So that's definitely one I'm most hyped about right now. Um, excuse me. And one I'm most least hype about is definitely Virtual Trash Fighter Esports.
Wow.
I
That's
just
a hot take right
I
there.
know it. I know it.
man, the Virtual Fighter can find the nearest cliff and just take two toes off of the edge and just I it's just a personal. I just never like Virtual Fighter. It's okay, but I've always just seen it as like the third place to Tekken and Dead or Alive. It's just like, oh my gosh, man.
Man, Twitter is about to go in on you.
Hey man, bring it on,
I'm
man.
gonna make
Virtua
sure to
Fighter,
put that as
all this
the
moon
highlight
jumping and
clip.
falling off the stage, man. Like, get it out of here, man. I'm jumping. I'm like, what is this?
You definitely gonna
Freaking
be the highlight.
man. I just Virtua just for me personally. This is and again, this is my personal. It might not be trash. This is what I feel. You feel me? I played Virtua Fighter 4. It was okay, but man, I just couldn't get it. I'm like, why? I'm every time I play Virtua Fighter, I'm like, why am I not playing Tekken? Why, like even my PlayStation tell me like, bro, why are you playing? Why are you not playing Tekken? I don't know, man. I don't know. I tried. It's just the movement, like I said, the jumping, like when they jump, it's like like they're on the moon. Like, what is this? Like they keep. I don't. It just doesn't appeal to me. You get wrung out by just going to the edge of state, just fall off. Not they don't even have to knock you off. You can literally get wrung out by blocking, by dodging attack, dodge attack. Ooh, I fell off, lost. What? But anyway, anyway, moving on to the. That's the one I'm definitely most. If they show me something, I gotta see something first. If they change some stuff, cause we hadn't seen nothing. This is just speculation. I'm just going off the recent virtual fighters we've had in the past. Now, if they show me something different, the mechanics will change a little bit. I might be down for it, but as of right now, that's the one I'm least hyped about. Um, and what's my sleeper pick? Um, I would say my sleeper pick out of this is probably Project L. This is one I we hadn't seen much, but I'm very curious to see how this game is going to shape up. I think people need to keep their eyes on this game. Hopefully, it's comes out and they show us some gameplay. But we really hadn't seen nothing on the game. Honestly, we've seen like some very like early concept type stuff. We ain't really seen nothing. So I'm really ready to see like how the game shapes up in terms of how it's gonna play, the characters, how the combat's gonna be. Some people are like, oh, this game is just a dream. It's not coming out. Like it almost feels like that, but hopefully that they show us something soon. Because I'm just kind of excited for like a company like Riot taking a series like LOL and just bringing it into like a fighting game. Since I think that's kind of a cool concept, taking stuff like that and making a fighting game out of it. Even I would even be hyped for something like if they did an Overwatch fighting game. I doubt that would happen, but something in that vein. It's kind of the same thing because Overwatch is a MOBA. Not a MOBA, but it's a hero shooter rather. And you got LOL, so MOBA. So I think that's a cool concept. So that's definitely my sleeper pick. And King of Fighters and Melty Blood, I'm definitely excited for Melty Blood, probably more so than King of Fighters. King of Fighters to me looks cool, but just me personally, the trailers just haven't had me hyped. Like I've only been hyped for maybe like one or two trailers, and that's Andy and Benny Maru. And I'm just these trailers just not doing it for. I'm tired of seeing stand light punch, stand heavy kick, throw, jump cut into super. I'm just,
Yo, Evan's face right now.
I'm just keeping it real. I'm tired of seeing light punch, medium punch, crouching medium kick,
You,
jump cut, super special.
you sure about that, bro?
I'm even this like Chris, like he looks cool. He looked cool, but I was like, yeah, he all right. But it's just the trailers just haven't had me hyped, man. I'm sorry. I've been playing this game like crazy. Punch playing it. I even went back and saw their latest character they put out. They put a trailer out for him. That's how you do a trailer. I'm just saying that's an indie company and they doing a trailer like that's a fire trailer, man. And you got KOF out here like light punch, medium punch. But that's hey Evan, here you go. I'm done. Oh man, it's a great day to be alive, man.
Bro, they've been doing a little bit. They've been doing better with them KOF 15 trailers, man. You gotta
Slightly better. They've been doing better, but it ain't like
you gotta let go of them first two trailers, bro. You gotta forgive them.
I'm saying, man.
Man.
Yo, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to wait until after we've gone through our takes to address some of that stuff you said, all right? But
Get them.
in general, I think like for me, I'm kind of looking forward. I know this might sound kind of like a cop out, but I'm kind of looking forward to all of these games. I think the one I would probably like. I can't really say that I'm looking forward to any of these the least. Like if I had to say the least, it would probably be Project L, only because I don't know anything about it. I don't like I haven't been given enough to be 100% hype about it. Like if you give me some more about the game, then I'd be like, okay, then I have reason to get hype. But I haven't seen any of the mechanics. I wasn't one of the people who were blessed to be like part of like the play test, so I don't know anything. So like I would say if I had to choose one that I was the least hype about, that would be it. I would say the one that I'm most hype about, I agree with Devin. Probably the only thing I agree with him about, and from that last take, was that I'm most hype about Guilty Gear Strive. I think like Guilty Gear Strive, I think is almost on the. I would say Guilty Gear Strive is almost on the opposite end of the spectrum from like Project L at this point, because like we've been given like some concept art and stuff like that for like Project L, but not a whole bunch else. On the other end, you have Guilty Gear Strive, which I mean, we've gotten a chance to play the game twice. We've had two times to play the game, 2 times already to kind of like to even have our input like considered by the developers. I remember like I remember the first time they did the beta, and I've mentioned this before, when I played my buddy. We shout outs to our man Antique Legend Chris Washington. Me and him, he plays Potemkin. I was playing Chip, and the thing about this was before Nagoriyuki was even in the game. And the thing about it is that Potemkin would do slide head. Now, when the beta came out, the first beta was there, slide head did damage. And if you were Chip, it did a lot of damage because, as most of you know, Chip has one of the lowest health pools in the game. So if you get hit by a move called slide head and then you have Potemkin walking over to you while you're contemplating your life on the ground, it's not a good look. So, obviously people other than me complained about that. And of course, what did they do? They took it out of the game because it really had especially in a game where they're trying to make it less skewed towards like aerial stuff. Why would you do that to Chip, man? It's already bad enough. But yeah, I would say that that's the game that I'm most hyped for. Games like the other games kind of fall into like I would say in terms of, I guess, like to use like a Formula One term, they're kind of more the midfield for me. Like Melty Blood, I'm excited about because I played Melty Blood before. I played it like about 10 years ago, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. I remember playing with my buddy. He introduced me to it randomly, and I had so much fun. Me and my brothers played it. Great game. Virtua Fighter 5 is an interesting one because I didn't really get into Virtua Fighter until long after Virtua Fighter 5 came out. And then I was playing, my buddy was like, hey, you like playing Astaroth? I was like, yeah, I like playing Astaroth. Yo, there's a character in the game that you might want to play as. He's like a really cool, really hype character. His name's Jeffrey Wild. Go play that character. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, man. He's not calling people maggots, but he does throw people around. I mean, he's a pretty cool character. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a chance to be on, because like there was nobody playing the game at that point. So now we're going to have people, like a situation where I can actually learn how to play the game with other people and like see how, like, you know, some of the new people play, some of the veterans play, like to really get into the game. King of Fighters 15, I'm looking forward to for a number of reasons. Number one, I'm a King of Fighters fan. I've never been particularly good at the game, but I love the characters. I love the lore. I just love the game. I love King of Fighters in general. And I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I'm way too later for that. But like, yeah, King of Fighters 15, great. I'm looking forward to that. I would say, let's see. I think that was pretty much all of them, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, like I said, like the only one that I would say the least, quote unquote least, would be Project L, but that's only because I don't have a whole lot of information about it, so I haven't had anything to glom onto, nothing to sink my teeth into. But everything else is looking pretty good. I can't wait for it's every single time, from month to month, it seems like the lineup of fighting games is getting better and better and better. So we're gonna have like eventually we're gonna have like this really great lineup at at like Combo Breaker, Evo, CO, like all of these what's called, like, whether they're in person or online, DreamHack, whether they're in person or online, we're going to have these great lineups of fighting games coming in, like this year and next year, especially when like everything's all the way out and like people have already gotten their chance to play the games and like actually give feedback, so they start changing things, patching, what have you. So yeah, man, that's my take on all of those games.
You said you're saving your the address for Devin later, huh?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if you were about to go in or what. But yeah, for me, Guilty Gear Strive would definitely be my favorite in terms of games that are coming out that I'm looking forward to, just because, like Devin said, it's on the horizon. Like, it's today's April 30th. I mean, starting tomorrow, we have a month before the game comes out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to, like, June is going to be a crazy month. There's a lot of stuff coming out in June that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, just fighting game wise, Strive is far and beyond like the game that I'm looking forward to the most right now out of this list. In terms of sleeper, for me, I'd say Melty Blood, just because like the FGC, we've been waiting on a high profile anime fighter to finally get rollback netcode, like good rollback netcode. I mean, well, it's yet to be determined if it's gonna have good netcode, but I mean, fingers crossed that the game is gonna play well and the netcode is gonna be good and everything. But I think that that's gonna be a sleeper hit, just because in the same way that people love Under Night, people love Grand Blue, but neither one of them have rollback netcode. I think the fact that we're finally getting an anime fighter that's developed by French bred, and if it plays well and it plays in the online is good, I think that it's going to take off. I mean, imagine if Dragon Ball Fighters had rollback netcode. Like, that game would be like, people would never stop playing that game. The only reason people are kind of like somewhat on the fence right now, those who are not like deep into it, is because the online isn't good. So the fact that we're finally getting an online fighter outside of Guilty Gear Strive, obviously, now we're getting another anime fighter that has good netcode. I think that one is really going to blow up. In terms of the others, I mean, King of Fighters 15, I definitely disagree with Devin that I think that like it's really shaping up, that the game, like, it looks better and better with each trailer. Like, honestly, 15 in my opinion is just what 14 should have been. It's like, graphically it looks good, gameplay wise so far. I mean, everything, I mean, it looks like KOF, so there's not really much that can be said about that. But so far, it seems like they're bringing back all the fan favorite characters. And so I think that KOF 15 is going to be like a big game when it comes out. I put Melty Blood as my sleeper, just because I think if we compare the two, we know King of Fighters is going to be big, but I think Melty is like the underdog in comparison to King of Fighters. Now, in regards to the other two, like Project L and Virtua Fighter, I like Virtua Fighter. I played Virtua Fighter 4 on the PS2, and I have Virtua Fighter 5. I never was good at those games because they're highly technical and it takes a lot to learn them. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Sega does with it because it's been so long since they visited the series. I'm looking forward to seeing if this is going to be like a brand new Virtua Fighter or if they're going to take the groundwork that they laid with 5 and kind of build on top of that. So I'm curious just to see what Sega does. Project L, I just want to see footage. That's really all I want to see. I want to see what this game is going to look like. I want to see what characters are going to be in it, how it plays, everything. So I guess in terms of least excited, maybe Project L right now, just because we don't have anything. Like, at least with Virtua Fighter, I know how Virtua Fighter plays because of previous iterations. With Project L, I have no idea how it's going to play other than like that one screenshot that they have with the Fox character whose name I can't think of and whoever else was on the screen at the time. That's like the only image that we have of Project L right now. I mean, in my opinion, I'm more looking forward to Dungeon Fighters Online, the fighting game, right now than Project L, just because at least I've seen something for Dungeon Fighters. I haven't seen anything for Project L, so it's kind of one of those things where it's hard to get excited for a game that I only know the title. I don't know what's going to be in the game, how it plays, how it looks, anything like that. So I'd say, yeah, favorite is Guilty Gear Strive. Sleeper pick would be Melty Blood, and I guess least favorite Project L, and that's only because I have no idea what it looks like. When I see more, I'll know more. And I don't even think that game's going to come out this year. I think that game maybe like 2022 or even 2023. I remember Riot saying that that game isn't coming out for a while. So, I mean, we'll see. When they finally drop a trailer, I'll give you my updated opinion now. Then, but now, I mean, there's nothing that I can see, so I don't have an opinion on it.
I mean, I'm hyped for Melty Blood. I mean, it's not gonna be on PC. They saying it's not gonna be on PC, but it is gonna be on Switch. So you know, I'm just excited to get that culture back to, you know, you at your local and you go in the restroom, you know, you rushing in there, that corn dog ain't sitting right, and then bam, you gotta hurry up and stop before you run over these dudes on the floor with a Nintendo Switch just sitting there getting it in, bro. Like, so, you know, that's
You have to do
Yo,
it
what
like
is
that,
happening
man.
right now?
so